Hi, this is Tanya back with a card of today for the 8th of March 2016. Now, we have a solar eclipse today, and this solar eclipse is all about going inside and embracing the inner us, the perfectly imperfect person that we are. None of us are perfect, but we're imperfectly perfect, and we're us and we are unique. It's also all about letting things go as well that no longer serve us. Eclipses are all about that. So expect a little bit of a bumpy ride, I think. Eclipses always bring in a lot, but it's a huge, like a spring cleaning for the soul. I sort of see that eclipses are, But today's card actually ties in quite nicely with that. Today we have the Hermit. Now, the Hermit is a very, very spiritual card. I always like to see it. Um, a lot of people see the Hermit as being alone, and I always say that being alone doesn't necessarily mean being lonely. So I really feel that's a good point to remember. You may be alone, but that doesn't mean that you're lonely. Sometimes you can be in a crowded room and feel more lonely than what you are by yourself. So this card, when it comes in, it always it tells of a great time of introspection. This is going within you. Like I said, this solar eclipse is all about this, but it's going within you. And I know it sounds very cliche to say the answers are within you, but this is what this card is saying. It's it's about doing some soul searching. I mentioned before soul spring cleaning. That's what this is doing. And this card is urging you to go into the darkest, dirtiest corners, the dusty corners of your soul, of your inner you, and give them a good clean out, and get yourself clear on what you really want in life. Hang on to what you need, let go of what you don't, you know. There's always a lovely authenticity comes here with the Hermit. The Hermit is different. He knows that he doesn't totally fit in with everybody around him, but he embraces that rather than actually worry about it. So when this card comes in, I always say, it's time to be authentic here, but it's also time to be eccentric as well. Allow yourself to be different. Because I think that is sometimes a struggle that we have when we know that we're different to other people. We try and fit in, and it just doesn't work that well. So this is about embracing your inner weirdness and, embracing your differences. You wouldn't be you without them. So this card is always, again, saying that it's, you don't have to try and fit in. You don't have to settle for things that don't work for you. Your life should be filled with things that inspire, and things that you can embrace rather than things that you feel you have to put up with or settle with. So there's a real need for truth within this, real need to tell the truth to yourself, get clear on which direction you want to go in, because I really feel with this card as well, there's like a point where you seem to be questioning things, questioning what you've already known, questioning what you've been taught, questioning what you've actually been, what you've thought is normal, and really it's okay to question, that is good. I think you can find a lot about yourself when you do question things, so it's like, there's a deeper meaning to life now, and it's time to start that search for it. We had the Fool yesterday, and the Fool was all excited and he was ready to go and jump off the cliff and start his new life. But now the Hermit has just taken a little bit of a step back and said, okay, I'm ready to do this, but I don't want to, I want to know where I'm going, sort of thing, So it's he's really taken some time to contemplate. I mean, if we have a look at a lot of the yogis, a lot of the gurus, a lot of spiritual figures, there's all stories about them, about going off into the wilderness, to find not just the answers within them, but to also find the answers that they're seeking from a higher knowledge as well. And sometimes by taking us away from society and by taking us away from other people, this is when we can hear those answers. This is when we can tune in and get the advice that we need. You know, I mean, a lot of times friends and loved ones will give us advice, you know, and at times that can be very helpful. And it's always nice to know that we have that there and have that support network there. But none of these people walk in your shoes. So although they may try to understand you, the only person that fully understands you is yourself, you know. So although their advice may be helpful at times, it's really about what do you want, what do you think you need to do as well. So this isn't about running off and hiding. This is about just spending some quality alone time, you know, and listening to yourself, like putting your ear down to the ground and listening to your soul, you know, because I really feel you are going through, it's like an awakening at the moment, you know, some sort of like epiphany, you know, like I say, it's a very, very spiritual card, this. And you may actually feel a little bit lost, but it's all part of your journey. If we have a look at the hermit here, he seems to be surrounded by snow, you know, so it's sort of like isolation, coldness, but he's gone to the highest summit. He's gone to the highest point he can. He's gone there by himself, and he is looking down on his life. You know, he is looking down, and from sort of a bird's eye view, so he's seeing it as a whole. When you're actually in it, you know, it's very hard to see all aspects of it. But by taking yourself that little bit higher, by taking yourself away and looking at it as a whole, a lot of things become more clearer, you know. He's also listening to his inner voice as well. When I look at the hermit, you know, he's all dressed in a brown cloak, and brown always means to me that he's grounded. He's very grounded there. But brown and the cloak as well. I mean, it, you know, it doesn't look like it cost him much. This is also, there's a humility with this, you know. There's a humbleness comes with the hermit, and it's, he needs to take himself away from all of the material things that he has to see what really matters and what's really important to him. The hermit is a very wise man, I always feel, and I feel that he knows his riches don't come within the things that he owns, you know. His riches come from what is inside of him, you know, and it doesn't matter where he goes. If we have a look, he has no baggage there. All he has is his staff, and his staff is what is giving him support. And he also has his lantern. This lantern is, you know, a guiding light. It's his guiding light, you know. And that is showing them where to go, and it's shining so brightly. And I really feel a lot of times we do need to take ourselves out of the picture, and we do need to sort of let our light shine. This is what happens when you're authentic, you know, you let your light shine. But then what happens with this is that light then attracts other people who are the same. You know, I've just done a post there today. It's International Women's Day, and I've done a post about you know, the important women in my life who have allowed me to be me. They haven't done that by anything they've said or done to me, but it's been their actions, because I have seen that in them. I have recognized that. I have wanted a part of that, you know, and I have been guided towards these people, you know, who have been great teachers and great inspirations to me, you know. And if I wasn't shining myself, I would never have met these people. So this is what this card is saying, really, you know, embrace your inner light. You know, I'm getting in my head there, this little light of mine, I'm going to let it shine, you know. So this is what this card is telling you to do. You know, the light is always connected to the universe as well. And the more we link into the universe, and the more we start to trust that, you know, this is when we do start to shine, you know. And this is when we get beautiful connections with people as well. So again, this card isn't about being alone. It's just taking this time to be by yourself, you know, to sort of see what you want. It's like resetting and then starting again, you know. A lot of people try to drown out things with background noise, with TVs, with, you know, with constantly doing things within their life, and they never take time to just be alone and to just be, You know, this is what the Hermit is telling you. Um, Last night, me and a friend went up to the beach really late at night last night to try and see the Northern Lights, and it was pitch black. We couldn't see anything. We set a fire, and we didn't really even speak to each other. You know, there was a few laughs, but we just set a fire. You know, we sat, we looked into the fire. We were freezing. But it was so beautiful just being in nature and being in this quiet time. And you know, some of the thoughts that were going through my head were, they were quite beautiful and they were quite profound, but that was because I'd taken myself away from the outside noise. You know, all I could hear was the sea, you know, and it was such a calming experience, you know. So sorry about that. I just thought that just came in there. So what this card is saying is really withdraw, you know, and look hard enough to see what is actually going on. Spend time in private, have your private thoughts, you know, and get alone to get answers, you know. So it's a wonderful card, this. I'm not telling you to completely lock yourself away and not answer your phones and things like that, but just take a little time to be with your own thoughts, you know. Like I say, let go of what you no longer need. Great time to do it during the eclipse, you know, but also like embrace who you are as well, you know, because if you don't embrace who you are, then you can't expect other people to do it neither. You know, so a wonderful card there. Like I say, a lot of stuff going on. It's in the mind at the moment, but it's it's really a beneficial card, I think. I think this card is, like I say, you're ready to make that move, but now it's just taking that little time back to contemplate and see, okay, I'm making that move, but where is it I want to go? You know? So lovely card there. I hope you all enjoy the energies of the eclipse. They're all really, really strong. And I'll be back tomorrow with the card of today. Sat down.